Hello everyone and welcome to another Hot Tip Tuesday. My name is Jim McIntosh and I know I said it was a Hot Tip Tuesday. It's been a while since I've done a Hot Tip Tuesday, but I'm here because I think today's subject is really an important one. And it's 3 ways that you can sell your wire wrap artwork and make money during a recession. Now I know they say we're not in a recession, but all of us know prices are going up, aren't they? I'm always looking for another way to maybe make a couple extra bucks just to kind of make ends meet. And these 3 ways will help you to do that. All right? So let's jump right into it. Number 1, Instagram. You might already be familiar with Instagram. You're more than likely using it each day. But it's a great way to not only showcase your work, but to also get sales. And one way to do that is when you do your descriptions under your pictures, make sure that you put something in the description like DM for prices or DM me to purchase, something along those lines so that they can direct message you and then make arrangements to pay you and to have it shipped. Okay, so the important things you want to remember about Instagram is the first one is your images. Use good quality images of your work. Now, you don't need to go out and buy an expensive camera. Your phone already has a great camera on it. So you can take some wonderful images with your telephone's camera. Be sure though that they're clear, they're well lit, and you might want to take a couple of various images of it, maybe from different angles. All right? Also, hashtags. Hashtags are extremely important. Why do I say that? Well, hashtags are what people will use in order to find your work. Now, you can use the common ones like wire wrap jewelry or wire wrap. There's a lot of variations on wire wrap. Wire wrap pendants, bracelet, all of those things. But what I want you to do is I want you to think a little differently. I want you to think about what your customers would be looking for. People who are looking for your work. Who are they? What are their interests? What are they into? Things like gifts for mom, gifts for mother, gift for girlfriend, gifts. Those are good things to think of as well. Something else you want to do, and this is new, is use Reels. Now, there's something interesting about Reels. Reels will allow you to not only showcase your jewelry in a video format, but as people are going through their various reels and watching reels, yours will come up in their feed if they have similar interests. If they're interested in fashion, if they're interested in jewelry, if they're interested in handmade stuff. There's various things that Instagram will make sure that it comes up in your feed. I mean, if you've ever been going through your reels and you found dog videos that all of a sudden started popping up, or various other subjects that you never would have thought about. See, that's how good Reels are. Reels are a great way to do that. So be sure to do that. The second one is Etsy. Etsy is another great place to sell your work. Now, a lot of people on YouTube, there's several videos if you look up, is this good for me? Is Etsy good for me? Blah, blah, blah. You're going to find people that are going to say, don't use Etsy. Etsy's terrible. They take all your money or all of this other stuff. It's true. Etsy does have some costs associated with it. It's very low cost to get you started, to get your work posted and things like that. They do take a percentage of your sales, but I want you to keep this in mind. And that's usually what everybody's all upset about. But keep this in mind. If you have your own website, you're going to have to pay for your hosting. You're going to have to pay in order to process credit cards. You're going to have to pay for that. See, these are all things, there's costs associated with selling your work on your own website. Now, in the future, when you're making tons of money and you're doing really well, maybe your own website is a good idea. But for you getting started and doing it on a budget, Etsy is a great way to go. So what are a few things to keep in mind about Etsy? Well, first of all, just like Instagram, images. Your images are key because people are going to be looking for those images that pop out at them. You're going to show up on a list of people. When they type in a search term, you're going to come up in those results. Your image that you use for those search results, those are important. So take good quality, clear, well-lit images of your work. And again, you can use your cell phone. Your phone is perfectly fine for that. You probably have a great camera on there. Something else to keep in mind is keywords in your descriptions and in your titles. Keywords. You want to make sure that a description of what you've made somehow is in that title. Sterling silver pendant, copper pendant, this type of stone, that type of stone. Keep that in mind. You can also use hashtags in Etsy as well. So do that also. But think outside the box a bit. Think about your customers. Use hashtags that say gift for mom, gift for daughter, gift for girlfriend, gift for wife. See, those are all things people are going to type in. So think about your customer. Do some test searches. Test search various terms in Etsy and kind of find out where you would fall on there. And just kind of feel that out. And you want to use those keywords in those descriptions as well as in those titles. Okay? Oh, and last, I almost forgot. When you do open your Etsy shop, make sure that you take the link to your Etsy shop and you put it in your Instagram bio. Because when people are in your Instagram and they're looking at all of your work, they're going to see that address there to your Etsy shop. They're going to click it and they're going to go and look and see what you have available for them. All right? So don't forget, that is extremely important. All right? Okay. I wanted to jump in here real quick just to let you guys know some really exciting news. We are now offering live online classes. And each class will go over a different project. So there's lots of things that you can learn from these live online classes. The good thing about them being live classes is that it gives you an opportunity to ask questions just to make sure that you're doing the technique right, or that you understand why we're doing the technique this way. It's great interaction between us just so that you get the most benefit. And that's unlike these recorded tutorials I do. You can't ask questions, can you? So these are great way to learn to make wire wrap jewelry. The other good thing is we're keeping the classes small. By keeping the classes small, you're going to get that individualized attention. So space is limited for each class. So stop by our website. It's right here. And make sure you sign up for a class now. Okay, number 3, local craft shows. Now, I know that you've probably have kicked around the idea of maybe getting into an arts and crafts show. Some people think that it's too hard, it's too difficult to get into. See, a lot of the big shows, they have things like a jury where you have to send images of your work in and get juried in, and it has a cost associated with it. Sometimes these bigger shows are extremely expensive to get into. All of those things are true. But smaller, local craft shows are great to get into, and they're much easier to get into and much cheaper to get into. So keep those in mind. Local craft shows. Now they're going to be smaller, but that's going to give you some experience. It's going to give you experience with selling to the public. It's going to give you experience with making a setup and doing all of those things. So don't forget about those local craft shows. Now let me give you a few pointers on that. Now we've done arts and craft shows for many years. And there's a few things that we've learned along the way. The first thing is your setup. How you have your space or your booth set up. A table is good, but one thing we do with our tables is we do height. We have various levels on our table, and we show our various pieces and various work on each of those levels, okay? This is important because if you get 3 or 4 or 5 people there at your table or in your booth, it's going to get a little crowded, and people will give up. They'll just say, I can't see anything, I just give up. If you have things on levels and you have them kind of spread out, it allows each of those people who may only have a small space to be able to see your work get an idea what your work looks like. So levels are very important. Also, don't spend a lot of money going out and buying all kinds of various displays and things like that. Use stuff around your house. You've probably got plenty of things around the house that you can use to dress up your booth, to dress up your table, and also to add those heights and be able to put your various pieces of jewelry on. Don't go crazy. Keep it simple, but make it look really nice. And along those lines, here's something I've never been able to figure out. But for years, we have always had a bouquet of flowers in a nice vase on our table. I don't know why it works, but people do come up and they comment on it. They say, oh, the beautiful flowers. And then they start looking at all of our work. Or somebody across the way, maybe a little further out, they'll go, I came over here because I saw the flowers and I just was curious what that was, what was going on. I don't know. I don't understand what it is. But try it out. It worked great for us. It's been working great for us for almost 20 years now. So check that out as well. Also, your price points. This is very important. You want to have 3 different price points. You want to have your very expensive stuff, the stuff that's really nice, nice stone, nice work, very nice stuff. That's your high-end stuff. Then you want to have stuff that's a little in the middle somewhere. A little more affordable, still rather elegant and rather nice and still handmade, but maybe doesn't cost you as much, and that way it won't cost your customers as much. And then you want to have stuff that's on the lower end. This is stuff that is going to attract people's attention. It might bring them into the booth. They might ooh and ah over all your work, but realize that maybe it's a little out of their price range. But this piece right here, this nice piece would do. And later on, I'm going to show you a video on 2 projects. Actually, you could almost make it into 3 projects of some low-end things that we have used for many years. They cost very little. They're very easy to make, and they really bring people into your booth. So check out the arts and crafts, the small arts and crafts shows in your area. Now, those were just 3 different things that will help you to sell more, especially when times get kind of tough and you want to make a few extra bucks. And you never know. This hobby or just what you're doing on a small scale, you could ramp it up into a much bigger thing and show at some larger shows. Maybe do a lot of sales online, start your own website, but this is a good place to start. They're all low cost. They're not going to be a lot of out-of-pocket expense for you, and it's really going to be a great way for you to sell your handmade artwork. That's all I got for this week. I'm Jim McIntosh. Thanks for stopping by. Thank you for coming by, and remember, practice, practice, practice.